Okay, here we go. We're up and running. We have our Switch. We have our online subscription. And I want to dive into The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I have not looked at this game since about 1998. Since I was a wee lad. I was in school. And I bought this game and I played it over and over for about a year. Maybe a year or two. And I haven't looked at it since. I didn't really spend any time with the 3DS remake. That kind of passed me by and I regret it because I adore this game. It's one of the best games that's ever been made. It's beautiful, amazing music, and the chance to play it on the Switch again is actually fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to it. Even with all the faults that the Nintendo Switch emulation service brings. Oh my god, this music. It's so good. Okay. Oh, I haven't even looked at the buttons and maps. Can't use the D-pad, have to use the stick. What are we calling our guy? I mean, I could call him Link. It's not the most interesting way of naming him, but fine. I used to call him Fuckhead back in the day. But that's not very polite. Fine. We'll go with Link. In the vast deep forest of Hyrule, long have I served as the guardian spirit. I am known as the Deku Tree. The children of the forest, the Kokiri, live here with me. Each Kokiri has his or her own guardian fairy. However, there is one boy who does not have a fairy. Still looks pretty good. Goofy looking faces. Where art thou? Come hither. Listen to my words, the words of the Deku Tree. Dost thou sense it, the climate of evil descending upon this realm? Malevolent forces even now are mustering to attack our land of Hyrule. For so long, the Kokiri Forest, the source of life, has stood as a barrier deterring outsiders and maintaining the order of the world. But before this tremendous evil power, even my power is as nothing. It seems the time has come for the boy without a fairy to begin his journey. The youth whose destiny it is to lead Hyrule to a path of justice and truth. Navi, go now, find our young friend and guide him to me. I do not have much time left. Fly, Navi, fly. The fate of the forest, nay, the world, depends upon thee. I do love it when people talk like a medieval person. Privy, dost thou understand? This was mind-blowing back in the day. Having just come off of the Super Nintendo. And then you've got this 3D first person flying around. It was absolutely my fucking brain was in orbit. I didn't know what to make of this. Hello. Hello, Link, wake up. The great Deku Tree wants to talk to you. Get up, you little bitch. Can Hyrule's destiny really depend on such a lazy boy? Well... I'm sure it could. You finally woke up. I'm Navi the Fairy. The Great Deku Tree asked me to be your partner from now on. Nice to meet you. The Great Deku Tree has summoned you, so let's get going right now. I mean, he's very accepting. Just a fairy comes flying through the door and says, "Get up, bitch." The Kokiri Forest. Aha. Look at that run animation. Holy hell. Yahoo! Hi, Link. Ooh. Can you slide? Or not? No, just drop. Okay. Hello! Wow, a fairy. Finally, a fairy came to you, Link. That's great news. I'm so happy for you. Now you're a true Kokiri, Link. Isn't that right? Or is that right? The Great Deku Tree has summoned you. It's quite an honour to talk to the Great Deku Tree. I'll wait for you here. Get going. Go see the tree. Understood. Controls. Oh, Z. Oh. Slightly weird controls. Hello. So, right. Oh no, so A is A, right, okay. I'm thinking of it like an N64 controller. New skills is in the Forest Training Centre. It's on the hill just above here. What button? Hold on, let's... Where's controls? User guide, right. ZR. Oh, so the trigger plus the buttons makes the C buttons. Okay. And that's just A and B. So, like that. Gotcha. Please come with me. Okay, coming. Just got to remember which way it was first. I have not played this game in 20 years. Oh, it's this little shit stain. Hello. Mr. No Fairy, what's your business with the Great Deku Tree? Without a fairy, you're not even a real man. Oh my lord. Yeah. What? Why would he summon you and not the Great Mido? Oh my lord. This isn't funny. That's an amazing animation. Look at that foot. I don't believe it. You're not even fully equipped. How do you think you're going to help the Great Deku Tree without both a sword and a shield ready? You're right. I don't have my equipment ready, but if you want to pass through here, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Sheesh. That's a thing the kids say. Sheesh. Right. What are we doing? Sword and a shield. Oh, hello. Cut in the grass. Mido told Saria he would do it, so she liked him. But I'm the one doing all the work. Well, ooh. Okay, it's not buttoned through the text. Sorry, young man. Now remember, there's something up here. Thrust attack your sign. Okay, I haven't got a sword yet, but good to know. Ooh, hello. grass with your sword. Understood? That is a rock. Or is this just tutorial land? Oh, hello. Let's work on some moves. To jump sideways while Z targeting, press A as you move left or right. To do a backflip, press A as you move backwards. To do a roll attack, Z targeting, press A as you move forwards. If you have your sword ready while targeting, you can do a jump attack by pressing A. Jump attack does double damage. You can use Z targeting on the stone next to me, so let's practice. Look at that. A seasoned pro. And it's toggle as well, it's not hold. The hole of Z. Let's go through this small hole. Stand in front of the hole and push towards it. A to enter the hole. Pay attention to the action button. Always. Oh yeah, first person. Mind-blowing 3D graphics. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, that's right, we're dodging the boulder. Hello, sign. Viewpoint. When you have no object to look at, you can just look forward with Z. Stop moving and then change the direction you're facing. Or hold down Z for a little while. This can help you get oriented. It's quite convenient. You can walk sideways. Oh yeah, the boulder will kill you. I didn't even try backflipping, did I? Side jumping, well that's fast. I like that. Monies. Let's wait for the boulder. Why do these docile forest people have a lethal boulder hurtling through the back garden behind their house? Rah 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 rah! You got the Kokiri sword. Equip it on this equipment screen. This is a hidden treasure of the Kokiri, but you can borrow it for a while. Be sure to practice with it before you really fight. Start is start. Start is start. Well, let's save always, yes. Sign says, visit the house of the Know-It-All brothers to get answers on all your item-related questions. Loving the sheath on the back as well, and that changed with the weapon you were equipping, so as you get the different swords throughout the game, the sheath across the back changes too. The Master Sword looks particularly cool with all its gold and filigree detailing. Okay, now we've got a sword. Let's chop these plants down. Hearts. Thank you. This was the training centre. House of the Know-It-All brothers. Fine, let's just have a little look about. Any hidden stuff? Oh, hello, Know-It-All brothers. I can teach you about the icons at the top of the screen. No, I think I know about these. I don't need that basic education. I have played a game before. There's three of you. Hello. They're your brothers, I suppose. Learn about the map and items. No, I'm not interested. Thank you. Use the up button. Sure, if you press up, you can change your view. And listen to the fairy. Got it. I know enough to get by with that. I'm not completely unfamiliar with the game. I do remember the odd bits and pieces. Even though it was... When did this come out? Was it 97? So it's nearly 25 years since I've played this. Maybe a little under 25 years. And that would explain why I can't quite remember where you get the shield. Well, one of these bozos will have it. I'll just keep destroying everything, looting everything, and speaking to everybody until I find... So is this Saria's house? It must be, because he said he was cutting the grass for Mido, who was doing it for Saria. Oh look, chests. What's in the chests? It's hot. 5 rupees. 5 rupees. 1 rupee. Doing well. 40 rupees and I'm still in tutorial land. So, who haven't we spoken to? You? I have a fairy now, that's great, Link. What? You've been called by the great Deku Tree? What an honour! He may give you a special gift, tee-hee. Tee-hee. What's funny about that? The great Deku Tree is our father, the forest guardian. He gave life to all us Kakiri. That's not weird. My daddy's a big tree. Oh. Stepping stones in the pond. If you boldly go in the direction you want to jump, you will leap automatically. If you hop around the stones, you'll become happier. Can I do that again? I cannot. Okay. Shop. Oh, the shop. That's where you get it from. Oh, hi Link. Look this way. Look over here with Z and talk to me with A. Yes, yes, that's how you use a fairy. It's so great that you finally have a fairy partner. I'll teach you how to talk to people using your fairy. Oh, I think I get it. Or I can figure it out. There's still 2 houses over there. Let's quickly look in there before I go in the shop, because I know the shop is where I get the shield from. Let's just chop up all of this rubbish. Saria's house. Oh, this is Saria's house. Where was I before then? Hello, I'm in your house. I'm rummaging through the stuff. And I'm leaving again. The House of Twins. There's twins. Oh, checking. Grab pot. Vandalize. Hello. Oh. Speaking of rupees, yeah. That's a bad habit. I shouldn't button through text. I'm sure one of them will have something useful. Right. I said I was going to go to the shop, because I think that's where I get the shield from. There it is. Oh, there's something around here. Yeah, look at that. Flooding back to me. This shop, it sells things you can get in the forest for free. Tee-hee. Do you know how to use the Deku shield? When you get the shield, press start to get into the subscreens. Select the equipment subscreen with Z or R. Choose the item you want to equip and press A to equip it. Yeah. That's fine. Look at this little midget. Sir, you built this shop. Why did you make the counter that tall if you can't actually reach over the top? You sell shields but not swords. Oh, yeah, I'll ask you a third time. 40 and I've got 64. That's fine. Gimme, gimme, gimme. You got a Deku shield. Switch to the equipment subscreen. Select the shield. Press A to equip. Press R to crouch and defend. If you press R while targeting, you can move while defending. No, that'll do for now. Let's put that bad boy on. Look at that. Which one's R? Z or R? You can run about. Look at that. How cool do I look? And now I am cool. Right, let's go and see, you know, Mr. Skid Market. If you want to see the Great Deku Tree, you should at least equip a sword and shield. Eh? What's that? Oh, you have a Deku shield? And what is that? Is that the Kokiri sword? Good grief! Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Well, even with all that stuff, a wimp is still a wimp, huh? I, the Great Mido, will never accept you as one of us. Shoot. How did you get to be the favourite of Saria and the Great Deku Tree, huh? Grumble, grumble. Here you go. Where you going, bitch? Yeah, boy. Oh. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just here with my sword and shield. What have you got, boy? Absolutely nothing. What a chump. Look at this little fuckwit. Right, let's go. Let's get this train a-rolling. Yep. You got a Deku stick? I'm sure they used to lunge at you. Here we go, the tree. Story time. Great Deku Tree, I'm back. Oh no, that's the fairy, not the tree. I don't have a deep voice. O Navi, thou hast returned. Link, welcome. Listen carefully to what I, the Great Deku Tree, am about to tell thee. Thy slumber these past moons must have been restless and full of nightmares. As the servants of evil gain strength, a vile climate pervades the land and causes nightmares to those sensitive to it. Verily, thou hast felt it. Link, the time has come to test thy courage. I have been cursed. I need you to break the curse with your wisdom and courage. Dost thou have courage enough to undertake this task? No, sorry. I'm going home. Then enter, brave Link, and thou too, Navi. Navi the fairy, thou must aid Link. And Link, when Navi speaks, use up to listen well to her words of wisdom. Please, climb in my mouth. It's not horny at all, I promise. Finger tree. This statue's one-eyed gaze pierces into your mind. Boing boing, the current time is 12 o'clock. Oh wow, they're back already, that's quick. Do I need to equip the sticks? This couldn't hurt, I suppose. What's over the other side? Let's go and have a little goosey gander. Seems like nothing. Well, there's something to do in here. There must be. It's not This feels like an awfully big empty space to have nothing else in it. Whatever. Inside the Deku tree. Oh, it's so good. That music. I love the ambience. I love the ambience. So eerie. Hello. Let's deal with this guy. Double damage. One more. Hey! Look, Link, you can see down below from this web using up. Okay, that's the way down, isn't it? And I've got to bust through. This ambience. Just drink it in. I actually think the battle music gets in the way a bit. I quite like just clambering around the dungeon. Just jump through from here. Is that what you gotta do? No. Okay. Got to get up higher. Look at this wall. The vine's grown on it. Give it a rough surface. Surface. Maybe you can climb it. Well, that's probably true. Skull Wall Tulla. Be careful not to touch it. Roger. Big chest. You found a dungeon map. Press start to look at the map in the subscreens. Blue chambers are places you've already visited. Your current location is the flashing room. Move up and down with the stick. Let's continue to explore. Ooh. You can open a door by standing in front of it and pressing A. Pay attention to what the action icon says. That's the blue icon at the top of the screen. Thank you. That's a rather rude way to say it, but thank you. You pay attention, bitch. Oh, it's this guy. Block, and you deflect. And then run him down. Forgive me, master. If I give you a clue, will you let me go? When you jump off a high cliff, if you hold forward, you will roll on the ground when you land and you won't get hurt from the fall. I can't guarantee it will work though, if the cliff is really, really high. Try it if you're feeling bold. It's just basically saying, kill yourself, bitch. Throw yourself off a cliff. Maybe you'll be fine. I don't know. Didn't even look what I was doing then. My gamer instincts took over. You found the slingshot, blah blah blah. Can you hide the UI on this? I don't particularly want my gamer profile picture. Mr. the lovely Tom Nook watching over me for this entire playthrough. I guess you can't. Well, that's fine. I was only half paying attention then. I got the slingshots. And it comes preloaded with 30 doobies. Oh. These are the wrong buttons. Yeah, the controls in this game are a little bit odd. But that's because the N64 had 6 face buttons, whereas the Switch only has 4, really. I do wonder why we moved away from 6 face buttons. I thought that was good on the Mega Drive or the Genesis, depending on where you're from. Yeah, it was always good in like fighting games. Gives you your light, medium, heavy, or high, mid, low. Yeah. Where are we going? We're going up, aren't we? That jump wasn't high enough. I've got to murder my way up the tree. God, these sound effects are so satisfying. How have they not made better sound effects in 25 years? Goodness me. I mean, they've come a long way with the camera, I'll give them that. But I don't think they've made better sound effects. Everything's so satisfying. It's got a real crunch to it. Even now, I'm standing just close enough to the baddie that the sort of enemy music is just starting to creep in the background. You can just hear that. Amazing. Hello, boy. That's a big skull tula. Its soft belly is the weak. Okay, I just did that by accident. Right, and the rest of it is very much not a weak point. It is a danger point. Oh, come back. Right, where are we? Oh, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. What are we doing? It looks like that torch was burning not too long ago. I see. And there's also a switch. We'll just presume that. Does that let me out, maybe? I've played a video game before. Dudes, let's let's clear these guys out. Boobity boop. Who's that? I hear, but I no see. There he is. Golden one? That is a golden one. You destroyed a gold Skulltula. You got a token proving you destroyed it. Boopity boopity boop. Cool. Right, let's do that again. God, so stressful. It's got a very Sonic the Hedgehog drowning quality to it. Nuts. I love nuts. Yes, now you can see the locations of many of the hidden things in the dungeon. Let's have a peep. Okay, so this level's clear. There's a chest I missed a floor down. Oh. Let's investigate. Why did I hear a baddie? Oh, the plant respawned. Let's go investigate that chest I missed, shall we? Oh, you're back. Well, I guess we can just kind of hop down a floor if I've missed something. Oh, it was up a floor, so there's one in the middle. There we go, so it's this room. So there was a chest over here I missed somewhere. Well, there you go. Something important? Absolutely not. Will I get every single chest like that? I can. Of course I will. I'm not a complete pedant. I will skip stuff if I don't know where it is. But I am going to try and get everything. What a shot. What a pro. What an absolute gamer. Up. You again. I've killed you 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Look at that. Triple monies. Let's go. No, I don't need the heart. I'm not going to go around for that. So we just jump off here. I think that's right. Sploosh. Golden boy. What if I could perhaps collect all of the gold spiders through the game? That might be fun. How many are there? Is it 100? I don't think I've ever done that before. Oh, another one. Speak of the devil. Boop-a-doo-ba-doo. Okay. Fire. Man make fire. Fire good. Get up there. That's too high. So, got a fire. Oh yeah, we can set fire to things, can't we? Look at that. I want you. Please forgive me, Master. Was that the same guy? Please forgive me, Master. I'll never do it again. If you spare me, I'll teach you something cool. You'll never beat my brothers up ahead unless you punch them in the proper order. 2, 3, 1. 23 is number 1. Do you think I'm a traitor? Bite down on a cyanide pill. For the decoy tree. Comrade. I see an eyeball. I shoot it. I'm a simple man. Looks dangerous. After you get in the water, if you hold down A, you can dive. I bet there are some interesting things underwater. I bet there are. So the platform goes just under those spikes and will probably, I guess, knock me off. That's a switch. That's a switch. It's a ramp. There doesn't seem to be anything else in it. Let's try the switch. Is that gonna... the water? Yes. Oh. Oh, it's timed. Sonic the Hedgehog is drowning. Oh. Go, 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 go. Thank you. Yep. It's you. Oh, I killed your brother. Just a few minutes. Stand next to this block and grab hold of it with A. While holding A, you can push or pull it. If you stand next to the block and press A while pressing towards the block, you can climb on top of it. Pay attention to what the action icon says. I mean, that's fair. Grab, pull. Climb. Climb. Door. Ouch. That's kind of severe damage when you think about it. You got a Deku Nut. Oh, I forgot about these. Flash and stun the enemy. Yeah. When you consider you've only got 3 hearts, and losing half a heart just to like a shitty little enemy like that. It's a little harsh. Hello, friend. Ah, money. What are we doing? More sticks. We've got 2. Oh. 2 dudes. They're easy to deal with, though. Oh, and you respawn. Okay. Let's deal with this room. Oh, do they respawn as well? That's a possibility. Don't you have to bomb those walls? Those odd-looking walls? I can't remember. It's been too long. Let's try the other way. Maybe the answer will make itself apparent. Little hole. I do like these first-person crawly sections. They're so good. Oh, this is where I drop down. Okay. Can I use this to make a shortcut? So I can climb back up? Why do I need to climb back up? I'm already here. Is that just in case you drop down by accident? Like that. What are you, DQ Nut Man? Ouch. There's nothing up here. Okay. Oh, there's a web. Am I supposed to burn it? I dropped through one of those before. Is there no way to drop on it? There's nothing here. I can grab a fire. There's loads of fire though. Oh, it's all out of reach. Yeah, okay. That fire isn't. No, that's what the shortcut's for. Duh. Okay. So it's... And then... What do you do? Swing? There we go. Oh, this is what he was talking about earlier. Right, this is the ones you have to do in order. 23 is number 1. Oh, I don't like these controls. 20. Please, for the love of God, don't kill me in the DQ tree. 3. 1. How did you know our secret? How irritating. It's so annoying that I'm going to reveal the secret of Queen Goma to you. In order to administer the coup de grace to Queen Goma, strike with your sword while she's stunned. Well, it said you stun them with Deku nuts. Oh, I hate that noise. Let's try stunning her with a Deku nut. I remember she's like a spider-looking lady. I don't really remember much of the boss fight other than that. Let's see what's what once we get going. Hello. Oh, I see it. Hello. Oh. The parasitic armored arachnid, Goma. Oh, I love this music. So good. I haven't even got a Deku nut equipped. Let's try that. Right, C. doing? Okay. Where are you? Eggs. Let's stay locked on and maybe we can shoot her. There we go, that's what I remember doing as a lad. What does Navi have to say? Goma is one of the parasitic monsters inside the Deku tree. Its eye is vulnerable when it's red. Right. It's just mocking her. Go red. Double damage. Chop chop. It's the best bit. The cool music. The boss dissolving into absolute nothing. Literally into the air. Hot piece. Hot container. Your maximum life energy is increased by 1 heart. Your life energy will be totally filled. Boy. Well, I never did get that. There's a wall I could blow through, it looked like. Maybe there's something in there that you come back to. I don't recall. Let's fill up that drink. Well done, Link. You little fucker. You funny little fucker. I saw you. Thou hast verily demonstrated thy courage. I knew that thou wouldst be able to carry out my wishes. Now I have yet more to tell ye. Wouldst thou listen? Of course thou would listen. Now listen carefully. A wicked man of the desert cast this dreadful curse upon me. This evil man ceaselessly uses his vile sorcerous powers in his search for the sacred realm that is connected to Hyrule. For it is in that sacred realm that one will find the divine relic, the Triforce, which contains the essence of the gods. Before time began, before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Pew, where we dropping? Din, the goddess of power. Nairu, the goddess of wisdom. And Farore, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nairu poured her wisdom into the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. does that even mean? For all, with a rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. Fuck the police. Fuck no. The three great goddesses, their labours completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. That doesn't really explain what it is, or what it does. It explains what it is, but not what it does. Thou must never allow the desert man in black armour to lay his hands on the sacred Triforce. Thou must never suffer that man with his evil heart to enter the sacred realm of legend. That evil man who cast the death curse upon me and sapped my power. Because of that curse, my end is nigh. Though your valiant efforts to break the curse were successful, I was doomed before you started. Yes, I will pass away soon. But do not grieve for me, because I am a tree, and trees are sentient. I have been able to tell you of these important matters. This is Hyrule's final hope. He sat down. Don't mind me, just taking 5, relaxing, you know, checking Twitter. Now go to Hyrule Castle. There thou will surely meet the Princess of Destiny. Take this stone with you, the stone that man wanted so much that he cast the curse on me. Look at that, twinklies. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is the spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the great Deku Tree. The future depends upon thee, Link. Thou art courageous. Navi the fairy, help Link to carry out my will. I entreat ye, Navi. Goodbye. And then he just fucking dies. Excuse me whilst I become a stump. Let's go to Hyrule Castle, Link. Goodbye, great Deku Tree. Ta-ta for now. Wow. Oh. Hey, Link, what did you do? The great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. Fuck off. It's nothing to do with me. Go fuck yourself, you little shit. And he just walks off. Where's he gone? We've got words to exchange. What's behind this house? I think I looked at. Absolutely nothing. So I've got to go to the castle. Now, I know that's out sort of across the field, but I don't remember which way to go. Who's going to tell me? That's my house. Is there anything to do in my house? Link's record. Spider squished 3. Largest fish caught, £0. Marathon time, horseback race time, horseback archery. It's actually high scores across the game. Got it. Let's rob myself. It's my rupee now, bitch. What is that supposed to be? That Is a man with a sword and a shield killing a dinosaur. Okay. That's just vandalism. It's pure vandalism. I want to get up this. How do we get up the top here? Like that. Oh, the camera moves by itself. I want to get on top of the shop. What did you do to the Great Deku Tree? And why is everyone saying that? I've been out of the tree for literally 2 minutes and half the town thinks I killed him. Well, this is not acceptable. Hello? I honestly don't remember much past this point. No specifics. This is going to be a toughie. Oh, hello. It's these things, which I never quite knew what they were for. The one-eyed gaze pierces my mind. What time is it? It's still 12 o'clock. Just time not passing it. The Lost Woods. Ah, yes. I remember the Lost Woods. I don't think this is the way to go. You could always look at the entrance and the colour banding would give it away that it's an exit. Like you can see that the colour banding shows it as a dot. So, this way? Maybe? Oh! Well, hello. Skull Man. Skull Kid. What's this? This is an obstacle course. Another one of those clocks. I surrender. To make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku sticks, but it'll cost you 40 rupees. Sure. Now you can pick up many Deku sticks. You can carry up to 20 of them. And then he just gave me back 3 rupees anyway. Fine. Don't remember what these are for. Hey! Skull Kid, is this what happens to kids who get lost in the forest? He might be our friend if we do something. What's that? That's probably not going to make him very friendly. I will be honest. That may have been an error. Let's have a little explore. I don't want to spend ages here. I do want to kind of... Oh, hello. What are we doing here? Hello. Same exploration. They don't give a single fuck. Fine, I think that's something to come back to. There's lots of backtracking. Yeah, this is very backtracky heavy, this game, so... I don't remember where I'm fucking going at all. I don't think it's through the Lost Woods. She said to go to the castle. Across the field, but where's the exit? But maybe it was back in the village. Maybe I just walked past it. Let's go and check it out. This is not the way. Oh god, I'm lost. I'm turning into a skull kid. There we go. Right. Where are we going? Let's try and... Let's look at the map, shall we? This is a bloody good idea. It doesn't zoom in. Okay, excellent. Let's look at the map. So that's the Deku tree. What that is. That's the Deku tree. That's the training area I went to over there. If that's the Lost Woods, then the only other exit is all the way over there. That one. Just climb on their house. I'm on your roof. Okay. God, the draw distance is so terrible. I don't remember it being that bad. We Kokori will die if we leave the forest. You're not going to try to leave the forest, are you? Well, you know, eyebrows, I am. I'm going to try and I'm going to do it. Leaving now. Oh, cutscenes. Cutscenes. Oh, you're leaving. Sad face. Sad face. I knew that you would leave the forest someday, Link. Because you are different from me and my friends. But that's okay, because we'll be friends forever, won't we? I want you to have this ocarina. Please take good care of it. It looks like a little fleshy egg. Sparkles, oh, music. Dee 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 dee. You received the Fairy Ocarina. This is a memento from Saria. Set it to C and press C to start playing it. On the select item subscreen you can set it to da-da-da and then use that to start playing it. You can play different notes with A and the 4 C buttons and press B to quit playing or start your song over again. When you play my ocarina, I hope you will think of me and come back to the forest to visit. How sweet. Of course I will. Why would I ever not do that? Aww. Sad face. That's the saddest thing in the world. Yeah, now we're going. Now we're in the game. Now we're gaming. Now it's 1998. Look at those trees. There's 5 of them. This game and the world felt like the biggest thing I'd ever experienced back in the day. There was nothing like it. It was crazy. Hey, it's Owl Dude. Woohoo, look up here. It appears that the time has finally come for you to start your adventure. You will encounter many hardships ahead. That is your fate. Don't feel discouraged even during the toughest times. Go straight this way and you'll see Hyrule Castle. That's where we're headed. You'll meet a princess there. If you are lost and don't know which way to go, look at the map. The areas you've explored will be shown on the map. Press start to enter the subscreens and ZR to find the map. On the map subscreen, you will also see a flashing dot showing you which way you should go next. Oh, I didn't realise that. Did you get all that? Yes. Oh, this is the meme. Did you get all that? No? Yeah. Did you get all that? Yes. Alright then, I'll see you around. Thanks, Owlboy. Doing a real service. Fucking my camera about. Look at this. Oh, the big pineapple looking enemy. I forgot he existed. I'm gonna save. Let's equip my Ocarina on the right button. Oh, and it comes for you. Shit, I forgot about this. Oh god, it's gonna chop me to bits. A pea hat. Its weak point is its roots. Well. Christ, it just explodes. Thank you. Let's chop up some. Let's do some Zelda. Oh yeah, the day-night cycle. I just totally forgot that was a thing. These are, what are they, Stalfos? Stout Child. Don't be afraid of the Stout Child, just attack it repeatedly. And they're just going to keep on going. Well, I can't do this yet. Oh, it's a big one. I assume this goes on forever. Let's keep moving. Or should I just wait it out till morning? Get some money at least, don't I? Through the trees. That music. That music. Right, let's start exploring. I don't remember anything on the overworld. What have we got? I am on Hyrule Field. I'm there. So I can go to... The flashing dots are where to go next. So I can go to Lon Lon Ranch, or I can go into the market, which I think goes through to the castle. Let's go to Lon Lon Ranch and see what's what. In fairness, this is quite a big overworld for an N64 game. There's a lot of nothing on this map, but it's quite big. It still has kind of a weird, janky coolness to it. Yeah. It's obviously aged quite badly. But it's a lot of fun. Long Ranch music. This might be the best music in the game. God, the music. Just all the music in the whole game is amazing. Coming in. Hello, stable. Cows. How you doing, cows? I can almost lock onto you. What are you trying to say? Come on. Lock on. Okay, maybe not. Nothing else going on out. Let's leave the cows in peace then. Nobody here. Don't mind me, just smashing up your earthenware pots, stealing all your rupees. Anything else in this house? It's pretty empty to me. Oh, can you get that? No, doesn't look like it. I'm not going to hit the chickens because I know they go mental. I don't know if it's off one hit or a few, but they would go utterly apeshit. Oh. It's a spider. Thank you. The Great Deku Tree wanted us to go visit the princess at the castle. Shouldn't we get going? I mean, yes, but this was also flashing on the map, so here I am. What? What are you doing hanging around here, you little weirdo? I'm Ingo, and I mind the ranch. I've been working at this ranch for a long time for that lazy bum Talon. Today, for example, he's gone somewhere for a delivery, and he hasn't come back yet. So I'm doing all the work around here. Oh well, it's tough to be a working man. Truer words were never spoken. What's your name? Ingo, Ingots, whatever it is. Horses? Horses, horses, horses? I think this is where you get a horse. Maybe it's a little early in the game. Maybe we'll come back later. Hyrule Field. Big tree. Big money. Let's go to the castle. That's the next destination. It's a boulder, so it's going to be blown up later, I'd guess. It's definitely not being blown up now. I don't have any bombs or anything. Fell in the river. Fell in the river too. Is there anything in the river? I don't remember. Let's go into town, see what's happening. Oh yeah. Welcome to Hyrule Castle Town. It's a peaceful, prosperous town. So it is. Look at that. Pots for days. Really? No one seems to mind you just being a delinquent vandal and just annihilating everything. Man, I'm so bored. Things would be more interesting if there were more troubles in the world. Hey, that's just between you and me, okay? Anyway, maybe we can let off some steam by breaking these jars. Stand near a jar and press A to lift it, and again to toss it. I could just... Look at Ooh. Big money. Dollar, dollar. Oh, I'm at the rupee cap. Okay. I could have sworn you could hold more than 99. Maybe it's... Is that an upgrade you get? Like the stick upgrade. Nice. Straight into a concrete wall. Golden boy. Okay, and there's ones up there as well. Let's land in there. Shoot them? It's about sort of on the string it generally hits, I think. Yeah. Like that. I think that's all of them. There's nothing hidden up there. We've got this anarchist hiding in like the gatehouse. Oh yeah, the market. Let go, it's mine. I found it first. Hello, Beardo. This beard is my pride and joy. Doesn't it look luxuriant, kid? Well, I suppose so. Whoa, what a crazy guy. Can you believe this guy was crazy enough to try to sneak into the castle to see Princess Zelda? All because of this idiot. They've tightened security at the castle. I wanted to see Princess Zelda. I avoided the guards, swam through the moat. I was almost there when they caught me. I found a small drain hole on the right side of the castle that I thought I could sneak into, but I got stuck. Well, that is unfortunate. That'll do it. What's in the beard shop? Hello. Bizarre. Yes, you are. My current hot seller is the Hylian Shield, but it might be too big for you, kid. 80 rupees, that's a lot. It wasn't that difficult to get these rupees. I was wasting them earlier. I might just buy it. Bye. You got a Hylian Shield. Switch to the equipment subscreen and select this shield, then equip it with A. Bombs. I don't have enough money. You can't get this now. Arrows? Can I buy the small arrows? You can't get this now. So it's still too early. I need to get the bow and arrow, I suppose, or whatever it is. Oh, I heard a rumour there is a monster that eats Hylian shields somewhere out there in the world. Have you seen it? Well, sir, I don't recall. Look at you two. Disgusting. Oh my god. Don't button through text, kids. You are more beautiful than Princess Zelda. Oh. Hang on. How adorable. My precious puppy can run faster than any of the other mutts around here. Kid, have you been to Lon Lon Ranch? Their milk is delicious. There are many horses there, and the young daughter of the ranch owner is cute. To get to Lon Lon Ranch after you leave town, head due south across the field. You should visit the ranch at least once. I already have. There was nothing on the ranch. Hello. There's a rumour going around that there is a potion shop that can make the ultimate medicine. Welcome! Oh, fish? Bug? Nut? Poe, this is a bottled spirit, ghost spirit. Sell it to someone who is crazy about weird things like this. Blue fire. You need an empty bottle to put this in. Use it to feel refreshing coolness. Fairy spirits. Red potion, green potion, health and magic. Hey kid, if you want to carry medicine, you need a container to put it in. Pearls of wisdom. Just, I would never have thought of that. I'm going to carry a potion, and I'm just going to carry it between my fingers. Oh, this is the temple, isn't it? Look at this. Can I do anything in the temple yet, or am I too early? Oh. Yeah, that's right. You put... Can I put my stone on there? Check. There are 3 hollows and an inscription. Ye who owns 3 spiritual stones, stand with the Ocarina of Time and play the Song of Time. That is how the inscription reads. Well, I don't have the Ocarina of Time. I have a fairy Ocarina. I think you get the Ocarina of Time later. And I certainly don't have any songs. Or haven't any. What's in the... Looks like a skull shop. Oh, it's a mouth. Okay. What a strange shop. I wonder when it'll be open for business. I read the sign there, but it still seems weird. Happy Mask Shop. Please read the sign before you use this shop. We do not sell masks at this shop. We just lend them to you. You sell the loaned masks on your own. You pay back the money for the mask, and we'll lend you a new model. You can borrow masks you have already sold again, however you can only sell each model once. So you come in, take a mask, sell it to someone, and then go back, you pay for the mask you sold, and they give you a new one. So they must do something. Hey, your clothes, they're different. You're not from around here, are you? ... Oh, you're a fairy boy from the forest. My name is Malon. My dad owns Lon Lon Ranch. Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk, and he hasn't come back yet. Is that it? I see. Hey, forest boy, this is the city of Hyrule. Take your time and enjoy the sights. I thought he was going to be a thug, but he's actually quite nice. If you came here to see Hyrule Castle, take the street on your right. If you want to see the back alleys of the town, take the street to the left. Oh yeah, I do. I want to see the filth. Show me the scum. I'm not dancing, you know, my back itches. Oh, okay. I made a lot of money. Maybe I should go look for more things to sell. I know, I should go to Lake Hylia. Many things float down the river and end up there. Okay. Please, with C, sell me something. What can I sell you? Come on, man. It won't let me. Can I sell you a song? What could I sell him? A nut. It won't let me. What was that, archery? ₹20 for 1 play. There are 10 targets. You have 15 chances. Hit all 10 targets. 10 targets gets you a prize. 8 is another try for free. Less than 8, game over. Don't lean on the counter. Don't disturb other customers. There are no other customers. Well, okay, that's shit, I've missed 3 already. I've got no money. I'm poor. Okay. I'll be back, sir. I've just got to go and chop down every piece of organic matter in this stupid little town. Oh no, I know. The gatehouse. I shouldn't have bought that fucking shield. I should have waited. I haven't even equipped it. What a donkey. Give me all your rupees. Rupees in a go. I might as well just do that again. And then I can buy myself 4 goes. Because 99 rupees won't get me a 5th go. So if I can get another 40. I will have as many goes as you can hold. In a what? If I get the same number of rupees. Oh, and the ones on the top as well. Forgot about that. Okay, so it's not an identical number of rupees every time. It's just a lot of rupees. One more try, one more try, one more try, one more $99, there we go, I'm back. Gonna go in there, slam down 20 rupees on the table, and then miss over and over. Where is it? Show me. There it is. I'm coming for you. Yeah. 8. Bravo! Wonderful! Perfect! Here's a fantastic present. You got a Deku Seeds bullet bag with 40 slingshot bullets. Nice! And he filled up my bullets. Anything else? Do you want to play a game? Do you get anything else? I should have read the text. He probably told me if I'm going to get anything. Or whatever. We're just playing for clout now. Shit. I will do this. Nine. Already wasted one. What a champion. Wonderful, bravo, perfect. Here's a fantastic present. Oh, just money, so just... yeah. Okay. Enough of that. Let's explore the rest of the town. I've got nothing to give you, my dog. Have you heard the legend of the Shadow Folk? They are the Sheikah, the shadows of the Hylians. They say they swore allegiance to the King of Hyrule and guarded the royal family. But with a long peace, no one has seen a Sheikah around here for a long time. However, I heard there is one Sheikah woman living in the castle. Okay. Do you know about the Temple of Time that we have in the northeast part of town? Legends say that the Temple of Time is the entrance to the sacred realm. Did you know that? No, I didn't. Who bumped me? There is a man on the roof. Please don't jump, sir. Is that steps? That is steps. Secrets. Secrets. They say we Hylians have big ears in order to hear the voices of the gods, but I've never heard them. Well, you do you, sir. What do we got? It's like a fruit machine. Oh. Sleepy lady. Oh, sorry. We're not open for business yet. Please come back soon. Can I go under here? No, I can't. Well, okay. I'll come back a little later. There was also a back alley. Is this it? This is it. Who's here? Hey! What's wrong with loitering around all day? Huh, kid? Well, strange, this door doesn't open. That is strange. It seems strange that packs of dogs roam our streets at night. Doesn't that seem weird to you? I mean, kind of? Hello. Hey, Sonny. I'll tell you something helpful. I heard there is a mysterious fountain somewhere near the castle. Okay. Smash that shit. This door doesn't open. Should I come back at night and see these packs of docks? Or should I just push on the story a little more? Oops. Sorry, girls. Let's go and check out the rest of it. Let's check out this mysterious fountain. Oh, look at that. Oh no, it's the owl. Look at that, it looks like a pop-up book. Oh dear, oh dear. Some of this hasn't aged very well at all. Your head's upside down. Hey Link, this way. The princess is inside the castle. Just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guards. Hoo hoo hoo. On this ground, time flows normally. But time stands still while you are in Lon Lon Ranch or in a town. If you want time to pass normally, you'll need to leave town. Oh well. Which way are you going to go now? Hoo hoo hoo. No. You're a smart kid. Good luck then. Hoo hoo. Hoot hoo, bitch. What are we doing? Bugs. That man tried to sell me a bug. Oh. There's a lot of those. Right, what are we doing? Can't go through there unless he's going to let us through. So you say you want to see Princess Zelda, eh? You probably heard about her in town and decided you had to meet her. Well, go home. Get out of here. The princess would never grant an audience to the likes of you. Fuck you. Polygon face. I'm going up the wall. I saw this. This statue's one-eyed gaze pierces into your mind. Still. Oops. Up, 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 up. Ha! Now what, mate? Let's go for a walk. Dead end. Who puts a sign up for a dead end? What on earth is that? Nothing I can do. I think it's to blow them up or throw them or something. I don't remember. Oh, guards. Guards. Guards everywhere. They did say to avoid the guards. So I'll do just that. I'll avoid the guards. And they said that guy said there was a fountain hole he got stuck in on the right side of the castle. So down there. Butterfly. Is it climbable? It is. Ooh. Ah, sleepy boy. That's it. What do we do about you, mate? Disease. Mumble, mumble. Oh, shit. Skip through it. Say that again, please. He's working on the ranch even in his sleep. What a lad. Can't even go through that. It's not a real door. Oh, that's the hole you have to go through. Now I've got to push these boxes through, but he is in the way. How are we going to wake up Mr. Sleepy Lon Ranch Man? I'm not sure if I remember. Let's see if the guards will actually... Oh, look at that lens flare. Look at that. You're singing. You're singing. Are you going to the castle, fairy boy? Would you mind finding my dad? He must have fallen asleep somewhere around the castle. What a thing for an adult to do. Tee-hee. Oh yeah, if you'll look for him, I'll give this to you. I've been incubating this egg very carefully. You got a weird egg. Feels like there's something moving inside. Set it to C and see what happens. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to this, that, or the other, and use it. Well, that's just dandy. Let's go and show the egg to him. The girl from the ranch asked us to find her father. I wonder where he is. Oh, that is him, isn't it? I just need to get there. And I think you show him the egg? Question mark? You do something with the egg. Creep, 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 creep. Creeping through the gardens. Really bad stealth section. I love the fading audio. You can just hear her singing in the background. Combined with a nice ambience of the moat. Egg. Look, a chicken hatched from the egg you are incubating. It's the miracle of life. Oh, chicken. What in tarnation? Can a person get a little shut-eye around here? Chicken? It doesn't work here. I like that. Hello, and who might you be? I'm Talon, the owner of Lon Ranch. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest, and I guess I fell asleep. Malon was looking for me. I'm gonna catch it from her now. I messed up bad, leaving Malon behind to wait for me. She's really gonna let me have it. Oh, you fucked up with your daughter. What a fucking useless father you are. Now I can push these boxes about. doesn't love a good box jumping puzzle? That's it. That's easy. Yep. Onwards through the fountain hole. Oh, stealth. Forgot about this. Can't use that door. Okay. I remember this section vaguely. Just gotta be careful. Don't be tempted to go and get the rupees because you won't make it. Creep over the covered garden. Oh. I wonder if then their field of view isn't 90 degrees to the right, or if I can be a little bit cheeky and sneak past the back of them. We'll wait for this guy on the bottom to make his way all the way around to the top again. And then this guy at the bottom will hopefully have his back to me so I can start moving along the bottom. Like that. And he should move up and I can just creep on past. It's the same idea here. They're going to follow each other round. So you let the first one get nice and far up the path. Oh, he's gone. Vanished. Into the N64 fog. No, it's just behind the grass there. And then you go, 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 go. Made it. First time. Like a pro. Almost like I've done that before. 24 years ago. Are you under the bridge? See, this is the sort of individual I am. I like to poke around the edges before I go and progress forward. Hey, it's Bowser. Hello. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. Over here. Doesn't cause any trouble. I like the lean. Did you just throw a bomb at me? Fucking hell, I didn't know they did that. Hello. Ba 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 ba. How did you get past the guards? What's that? Is that a fairy? Then you are. Are you from the forest? Then you wouldn't happen to have the spiritual stone of the forest, would you? The green and shining stone? Do you have it? Oh, I do, yes. Just as I thought. I had a dream I had of a dream. In the dream, dark storm clouds were billowing over the land of Hyrule. But suddenly a ray of light shot out of the forest, parted the clouds, and lit up the ground. The light turned into a figure, holding a green and shining stone, followed by a fairy. I know this is a prophecy that someone would come from the forest. Yes, I thought you might be the one. Oh, I'm sorry. I got carried away with my story and didn't even properly introduce myself. I am Zelda, Princess of Hyrule. What is your name? It's Jiminy Cricket. Link. Strange. It sounds somehow familiar. Okay then, Link. I am going to tell you the secret of the Sacred Realm that has been passed down by the royal family of Hyrule. Please keep this a secret from everyone. Okay. The legend goes like this. The three goddesses hid the Triforce containing the power of the gods somewhere in Hyrule. The power to grant the wish of the one who holds the Triforce in his hands. If someone with a righteous heart makes a wish, it will lead Hyrule to a golden age of prosperity. If someone with an evil mind has his wish granted, the world will be consumed by evil. That is what has been told. So the ancient sages built the Temple of Time to protect the Triforce from evil ones. That's a good call. That's right, the Temple of Time is the entrance through which you can enter the Sacred Realm from our world. But the entrance is sealed with a stone called the Door of Time. And in order to open the door, it is said that you need to collect 3 spiritual stones. And another thing you need is the treasure that the royal family keeps, along with this legend. The Ocarina of Time. Did you understand well the story I just told you? Yes? That's great. I forgot to tell you. I was spying through this window just now. The other element from my dream, the dark clouds, I believe they symbolize that man in there. Will you look through the window at him? Yeah, I'll have a good peep. I'm peeping. Look at that posture, look at that man. Can you see the man with the evil eyes? Yeah, it's the 2 gods, just up there and up there. That is Ganondorf, the leader of the Gerudos. They hail from the desert far to the west. Though he swears allegiance to my father, I am sure he is not sincere. The dark clouds that covered Hyrule in my dream, they must symbolize that man. Ooh. What happened? Did he see you? I see you, bitch. Don't worry, he doesn't have any idea what we're planning yet. Yes, I told my father about my dream. However, he didn't believe it was a prophecy. But I can sense that man's evil intentions. What Ganondorf is after must be nothing less than the Triforce of the Sacred Realm. He must have come to Hyrule to obtain it. And he wants to conquer Hyrule, no, the entire world. Link, now we are the only ones who can protect Hyrule. That's quite a stretch. You literally just saw me in the last 5 minutes, for the first time in your life, and you're basing all of this off of a dream and some symbolism about dark clouds and an ancient prophecy that you don't know is true yet. And we have to stop this fucker. Yeah, okay. I believe you. I'm a sucker. Sign me up. I am afraid. I have a feeling that man is going to destroy Hyrule. He has such terrifying power. But it's fortunate that you have come. We must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina of Time with all of my power. He shall not have it. You go find the other 2 spiritual stones. Let's get the Triforce before Ganondorf does, and then defeat him. One more thing. Take this letter. I'm sure it will be helpful to you. Oh no, my chicken. You received Zelda's letter. Wow! This letter has Princess Zelda's autograph. Set it to C and show it with C. On the select item subscreen, you can set it to left, right, down, and then use it to show it to people. What does that actually mean? Her letter. My attendant will guide you out the castle. Don't be afraid to talk to her. Oh. Da-da-da-da. Holy hell. Big Impa. I am Impa of the Sheikahs. I am responsible for protecting Princess Zelda. Everything is exactly as the princess foretold. You're a courageous boy. You're heading out on a big new adventure, aren't you? My role in the princess's dream was to teach a melody to the one from the forest. This is an ancient melody passed down by the royal family. I have played this song for Princess Zelda as a lullaby ever since she was a baby. There is a mysterious power in these notes. Now listen carefully. I can't whistle with two fingers. Left, up, right, left, up, right. You've learned Zelda's lullaby. Well, fuck me. If the castle soldiers find you, there will be trouble. Let me lead you out of the castle. She's got a fucking knife. She's packing. You brave lad. We must protect this beautiful land of Hyrule. Take a good look at that mountain. That is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. At the foot of Death Mountain you will find my village, Kakariko. That is where I was born and raised. You should talk to some of the villagers. There before you go up Death Mountain. The song I just taught you has some mysterious power. Only royal family members are allowed to learn this song. Remember, it will help to prove your connection with the royal family. The princess is waiting for you to return to the castle with the stones. Alright, we're counting on you. Ninja smoke. Shake her out. And she's just like fucking hiding in a corner behind a tree. Well, okay. Let's save. Does the Nintendo do save states? Oh, it does. Suspend points in N64 games. What a luxury. What a treat. What a joy. Anyway. Okay, well, let's wrap it up there and I'll pick it up again tomorrow. And we'll try and do the next dungeon or two and see if we can get to Adult Link in the next stream. Thank you very much and goodbye. See you tomorrow.